Hello, welcome to the Knowledge Share with Dr. Dave podcast. This is your facilitator, Dr. Dave Cornelius. Knowledge Share with Dr. Dave is streamed on grokshare.com and broadcasted on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. I want to encourage everyone to find their awesomeness. It is a choice. Let's begin your learning experience to achieve your awesomeness.
1, 2, 3, good morning Tucson. Happy Friday to you. I can feel that weekend coming on. We made it, you made it, Tucson. Another week here on the Creative City Show with me, your host, Zach Yentzer. As every day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 10, we talk about the people and ideas shaping Tucson's future. And along the way, we envision, we debate, we discuss the issues and themes critical towards getting Tucson to that best possible future. We've got a fast Friday show here for you. The first half of the hour, we're going to spend it with Dr. Dave from the 5 Saturdays program, a summer workshop that provides high school students with learning experiences in entrepreneurship, agile software development, job readiness, and agile life skills. We're on the other side of that program now, so we're going to do an update on what I think is a very important program for workforce readiness, and then we'll close out the week with a kind of connecting the dots type of bottom half of the hour. We'll just talk about some of the news of the week. We start the week talking about what's going to shape the news of the week. We take Friday to try and make sense of it all. And so we'll talk a little bit of family life curriculum. We'll talk maybe a little bit of TIA news from the Sun Corridor lunch. My voice is similar to Bernie Sanders last night. Forgive me for that. Also, Joe Biden wants to make radio great again. So, I mean, it's still great, but you know what you're saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So we'll talk a little bit of third debate, right? Yeah. We whittled down to 10 candidates, which is a big deal this time around, right?
Yes,
it's almost a third of where it started. So we'll cover all of that. A lot of great stuff for you this show, so stick around to the end. Dr. Dave.
Hey, Zach.
We had you earlier in the spring,
yes,
before the program.
Yep.
I'm excited to have you and to talk about helping our 13 to 19-year-old high school population here in Tucson be workforce ready.
Yes.
And I saw some pictures. You had some of the creme de la creme of the Tucson entrepreneurship, business, development community that were really mentoring these young people up over a 5 Saturday period. Give us the snapshot of what happened on 5 Saturdays this year.
Oh man, it was totally amazing. We had like 22 students who signed up in Tucson because we're running in 3 different locations in the country. We have 2 in California, but this is the first year in Tucson. So we had about 22 students who signed up, and we finished with 15, which is great because that was a great retention. But we also were able to bring in learning facilitators who were CEOs. There were actually teachers of Sawato High School. We had different people who were consultants who came in and spent those 5 Saturdays. And I want to just really give a shout out to those individuals because I think it's really important.
And so many of them have been on this program, so this is going to be fun.
This is going to be fun. So, I mean, our learning, so just to tell you, the students came from like Sawato High School, Tucson High, University High, and Catalina Foothill High, like 4 different high schools, which was, great population mix, but the learning facilitators who really spent a lot of the Saturday sharing knowledge. You think of Bernadine Cannon, she's an IT consultant. Mariana Eubank, she's a recent U of A MIS graduate. You have Raymond Mack, he's a Sawato High School teacher. Michael Tucker, he's the CEO of Let's Be Strategic.
He's been on this show.
He's been on this show.
Do you mind if I call that out as you read the name?
You call him up, my friend. You call him up.
Let's do it. Okay.
Carmen Cornelius, she's my wife, and she's the manager of strategic sourcing. And we had Dr. Charles Collingwood. He's the head of the math department at Sawato High School. But the panelists, the people who came on the award Saturday, This is where we brought out all of the stars. And most of these people, like Ed Cruz, the CEO for Go for Vertical.
Ding.
Ding. Ashley LaRussa, she's the CEO of Rue Events.
Ding. Been on the show.
Yeah. Eric Smith, he's now the executive director of the University of Arizona Center of Innovation.
Ding. Been on the show.
Yeah. Jeff Sales, executive director, Southern Arizona Tech Council.
Soon to be on
the show. Stephanie Bermudez, founder of Startup Unidos.
Frequenter on the
Frequent
show.
on the show. Mayra Chimienti, she's the VP of Operations Services from Mr. Car Wash. Got to get her on your show. Very, very good.
We haven't given Mr. Car Wash enough time on the air.
Yeah.
We should change that.
You got to hook her up. And then you had Gina Catalano,
Oh, yeah.
co-founder at Fondry and Company. And then we had Aaron Eden, who's the CEO of Moves the Needle.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of really cool people who came in and spent their time interviewing the students, reviewing their business ideas. So, that was just perfect, right? To have all of these people from the community show up.
Right.
Right? I mean, that's hard, but it's really good. I'm eternally grateful to these individuals who really care enough about Tucson and the high school students here, that population, who came in and said, yeah, we want to see future entrepreneurs and technologists, learning new stuff. So that was really wonderful.
Yes. A description of the 5 Saturdays program on your website is opening a door to a career in technology and business using agile collaborative learning. So the goal is to really provide these 15, 13, and 19-year-olds with the tools, both soft and hard.
Yes.
Right, Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Both the soft skills and then the hard technical skills to be able to succeed. I read an article this week, Dr. Dave, about what makes Silicon Valley different. Right? There's a million of those articles.
Oh, yeah.
But this one talked about how in successful environments of technology and business, you have an older generation of business leaders passing their skills down and training up a new generation of leaders. If you don't have this intergenerational training and mentorship in a community, you don't have an ecosystem that can thrive and accelerate as much as it has the potential to do. You're solving all of that through the 5 Saturdays program.
Well, most definitely, because you want to really create a sustainable ecosystem, right? And it's so that you could continue to expand, grow, scale. I mean, those are the things that you have to put in place. And if you only spend your time doing the A through G type of learning, right, which is basically what you learn in high school. So the thing is that if I could teach you how to write code, I could teach you how to be an entrepreneur. I could teach you how to be ready to look for a job. And I could give you the life skills with agility of how to collaborate, how to plan, how to communicate, and give you all of those necessary skills early. By the time you get to college, by the time you even graduate, let's say 16 years old, when you could actually legally get a job, you're in a different position than if you were not. Even the learning facilitators who come to our program, it's really interesting to see that what they learn. They walk out of there with new skills and capabilities that they didn't have when they came to the program, because oftentimes they're not entrepreneurs, they're not technologists. We're not well versed in building resumes and interviewing. And agility skills is something that you have to pay a lot of money to obtain. It's not something you just learn naturally, right? So the value that they get out of it is it's great. I've seen a lot of people come to our program who have learned these skills, and their career has shifted from learning facilitators, because there are people who are now working using agile skills in the tech space who were not before. So it's good to see that transition happen for people coming to the program.
Right. Dr. Dave, a lot of our listeners realize that the success of our region really depends on education.
Yes.
And we talk about our education environment a lot here in Tucson. Our Friday Live line is sponsored by Why I Love Where I Live. 790-2040 is the number that any of our listeners can use to give us a call and to talk with you about whether it's through specific programs like yours or even within our schools in general. I know you have thoughts on what do our 13 to 19-year-olds, right, need to really know and be aware of and be ready to do to be workforce ready for the workforce that we have today and the future. Why I Love Where I Live is an organization that helps us appreciate where we live. It's a social media movement and a retail location. On Fridays, they sponsor our live line, 790-2040.
Nice.
Dr. Dave, I think if we can take a break just a little early.
Yeah.
Because I want to get into it with you rather than stop you in a minute.
Yeah.
Because I would love to walk through what were some of the skills and education and things that you trained these 13 and 19-year-olds on.
Yeah.
And what the program looked like.
Most definitely. Let's do that, because I also want to give you some insights of where we're going for the future as well.
Completely.
Yeah.
I want to leave time for all of that. Let's go to a break, Tucson. Our first break here at 9:15. You're on 1030 The Voice, trusted local news and talk. We'll be back after our first break. Don't go away, Tucson. Tucson, welcome back to our Friday program here on the Creative City Show. We're in studio with Dr. Dave Cornelius, the leader of the 5 Saturdays curriculum and workshop and soft and hard skill program here in Tucson. There's so many descriptors for it. Opening the door to a career in technology and business for 13 and 19-year-olds using agile collaborative learning. Give us a taste, Dr. Dave, of what the 5 Saturdays program, this 5-part really training, taught these students. What's coming down the pike, who you're partnering with, all of it. We have so much to get into. Let's do it.
So good, just to let everyone know what the students really learn is that we use a lot of immersive learning, a lot of games to help them understand how to plan, how to work well together. So that's a very core part of our program. But we teach them how to write software. So this year we got into doing some stuff with Scratch from MIT and pivot them into some robotic stuff with Python. We teach them the Lean Business Canvas, which is used by the U of A and many other universities, of how do you really evaluate a business idea. So they have to come up with a business idea. They work as a team. We teach them how to build a resume, how to interview, communication skills, eye contact, shaking hands, different games for that. We teach them what it's like to be a servant leader by doing stuff like rock, paper, scissors as a game, right? And teaching them those skills. And to me, the agile life skills is really critical in terms of being able to be transparent, to be able to inspect and adapt. Those 3 critical skills help any organization. I mean, that's what I do today. I go off and I train Fortune 500 companies and those skills and those capabilities. So we bring that to the high school students. One of the things that we're looking forward to into the future is like really connecting with people like Betty Stauffer over at Literacy Connects. We want to build up what we call STEM literacy. We call it STEAM literacy because our A is for agile and not just art. We believe arts is part of agility. And so we want to make sure that those skills become a core competency when you start to speak of literacy in the 4th Industrial Revolution. I believe we're in the 5th Industrial Revolution or the digital revolution, but the 4th Industrial Revolution that most people speak about, this is what's going to impact how we work as we go forward. We're also looking at how do we take this and this program and also bring it to programs like Yodo, Youth on Their Own. Can we also take that program and help students who are, what I say, are on the gap, right, or on the edge of falling out of our society? So, give us an opportunity. We're looking to digitize all of our courses so that people could take our courses online and not necessarily be a face-to-face program all the time, right? Because that means it allows us to scale, as opposed to where we now only have 3 physical locations. And next year, we're going to try and add 2 more. We want to go to Phoenix and we want to go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Okay. Right? We want to go to the Fonzie land.
So besides, what's in Milwaukee?
Well, I went to undergrad school in Wisconsin. Okay. and so Milwaukee is... You
caught me there. Bob's laughing because I'm really speechless. And I'm like, okay, do I go down the Fonzie route or do I go down the...
Or Lucy, Lucy's route, I love Lucy. We think that would be important. And plus, it's just another city where you have a lot of underserved, you have a great underserved population, and that's what our program really focused on, for helping students who are in the underserved population. Not exclusively, but that's what our primary focus is.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Dave, you talk about, and you use the phrasing job readiness.
Yes.
And what I just want to highlight for anybody listening that I think that 5 Saturdays hits on the 2 pieces of job readiness that are so needed right now. One is just like kind of the tech and coding side. I mean, we need hundreds of them in Tucson if we're going to keep up with where our momentum is taking us. But in this 4th industrial revolution, where there's this real melding of kind of digital and science and automation and biology, that as that begins to take shape, the workforce of the future is going to have to be soft skill capable, right? You know, it sounds kind of, oh shucks, you know, eye contact, handshake, soft skills, EQ. No, this is the nuts and bolts of the future workforce. Can you?
Well, if you, in the past we all lived in the same location. As we become more global and more distributed, and you're trying to leverage the skills of the best that you could find, you need those soft skills. That's the glue. Without the ability to collaborate and communicate and to be able to even have respect for people, which is one of the core principles of agility as well, you know, how do you work well? And so how do you work faster? And so these skills remove what I call frictionless collaboration. Right? So where you and I could come together and work, and even though we may have differences, it really doesn't matter because we have the right skills to navigate, right, what needs to be done. And so that's the focus, a part of, in this 4th industrial revolution and beyond. I mean, these are some of the core skills that you need to have to make things work, because we no longer have to pile into one building or one location. We may be distributed across 5 different countries,
right.
You know, and I've worked with organizations like that.
Good point. Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter culturally where you are. It's like, how do we get the work done and do it well and be very innovative? Because you know, nowadays in the way the market is shaped, I could compete with just about anyone if I have the right, a small team of people with the right mindset.
Correct.
Right? Disruption is really easy in this 4th industrial revolution. Right? I mean, we've seen it where you see different companies who have came from the, you know, risen from the ashes to where they are today.
You know, looking back, you know, competitive advantage, right?
Yeah.
Ford Motors figured out competitive advantage through the supply, through the word is skipping me. You know what I mean?
Right, the supply chain or assembly line.
The assembly line.
Yeah.
I was thinking supply with assembly line, right?
Yeah.
You got your competitive advantage through, you know, how you could figure out the actual physical systems.
Yeah.
Right? I think in today's economy, competitive advantage is how you collaborate.
Yes.
How you build that team, how you create that frictionless environment for innovation. It's really the thought work, the EQ.
Yes.
You can get that faster and better. That's today's competitive advantage. It's a little bit of a different world, isn't it?
It is, because, well, that's what Peter Drucker was talking about the knowledge worker and the different things that we do need, right? And it's more about our ability to really innovate and collaborate, work well together, and be able to take advantage of the skills. Because if everyone could code, what's the differentiator? If everyone understands entrepreneurship, what's the differentiator in allowing, you know, allowing a startup to get to scale up? It's people. It's people in the way we work. I was thinking about, I was reading this article the other day, and they were talking about what makes a great startup. They said having a hipster, a hacker, and a hustler, right? The 3 H's, right? Someone who could design them, someone who could build, and someone who could
sell,
right? I mean, so how do you bring those skills together?
Oh, man.
And so those are the things that we want to teach at 5 Saturdays early. You know, give students this. Even if that's not what they go into in the future, we know every job, most jobs that we go into requires tech, and it requires collaboration, it requires the soft skills.
Right.
And your company is better if you have entrepreneurs, right? The people who could innovate inside the company. Right? And so those are other great differentiators that you could build those skills early and bring them to the workplace. It makes a great difference, or from what I've seen anyway.
Well, if we zoom out, Dr. Dave
Yeah.
Cornelius, you facilitate and you lead out on the 5 Saturdays program. When companies look to relocate somewhere or look to grow somewhere, right? One of those two, either or both, they're saying, can we access the talent that we need? And so there's some macro conversations that you're really feeding into, Dr. Dave, by preparing job ready young people. Our time is flying, sir.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. What's up with that?
I can, because I mean, it's 2 radio hosts going at it. You podcast, I do a show. I mean, we can flow. We have about 2 minutes left. I want to make sure that I maximize that for you. Either a success story or where are we going, call to action. I'll let you close it out the way you want to.
The success story is the fact that we scaled to 3 locations. Like 6 years ago, it was just me in LA. 6 years later, it's me with other leaders who came through the program, and we're in 3 locations, right? In Whittier, Costa Mesa, and Tucson. The things that we would like to see more of is how do we engage the community to participate more. Right, in terms of sponsors, in terms of allowing other learning facilitators, people to come in and act as mentors and learning facilitators in our program. And it's really one thing I would like to see more is how do we collaborate more with other organizations who are attempting to do the same thing. And that's why in a lot of ways I'm just really grateful that I'm hooking up with Betty Stauffer right now from Literacy Connects, because that gives us another opportunity to work with another organization who's trying to do some of the same things in a different way. But I think there's great benefits for people to collaborate and work well together. I mean, that's what we want. This is where we want to get to.
That's what you teach.
Yeah, I mean, this is where our curriculum, right, could be a great gateway for many organizations to take off and go forward. Because the key thing is if you could have great curriculum to help move things forward, all you need is facilitators to learn it, and then you have mentoring, you have pairing, you have partnership, right, which is something that's really great. But we want to do more of what's going on with you. I want you, when you have time to come in. I'm calling you out in the air. Like next year, I mean, it would be great to have you come in and share your experience and your knowledge, even if it's just as a mentor profile. It would be awesome. Or more importantly, maybe you teach them how to run a radio show, huh?
5 Saturdays, the number 5saturdays.org.
That's right.
For more information. Tucson, get on that.
Hello, this is Dr. Dave Cornelius again. Thank you for listening. We hope you were able to add to your awesomeness journey with this learning experience to obtain new knowledge. We are grateful to those who support us. We would like to thank our sponsor, Nalshare, for the continued support for this podcast. Visit www.nalshare.org to achieve your awesomeness through agile coaching and training, digital transformation strategy, agile organization development, lean business startup, and diversity, equity, and inclusion coaching. Nalshare.org also provides online workshops for PDUs and SEUs to help you maintain your existing professional development certification and achieve new ones. We support lean thinking and agile life skills education through the 5 Saturdays Agile Education Program. Visit www.5saturdays.org to donate your time, money, and knowledge. That's www.5saturdays.org. Check out Dr. Dave's latest book, Prayers to My Abba Father God, on Amazon.com.
Psychedelic feelings, I can't please myself. Changes in my visions running wild in my head. Feeding on my madness,